This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
Nikhil D'Souza's here. What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Nice. Silver and Gold is out, and I have to say I'm very impressed by the video. So it looks like a heritage monument, man, the way you filmed the video. So whereabouts is it? I mean, camera zones in from somewhere in the distance,
I know.
and you're sitting there on the ledge.
That was a scary part. Like
Sitting on the precipice.
I was dehydrated. I thought I was going to fall off the place at some point. But in the name of art, we do these things. This was a place called Jai Vilas Palace, also known as Johar Palace. It's 2 hours from Bombay. I had no idea it was there. And it's a beautiful, beautiful old palace. I mean, abandoned but still standing strong, kind of in line with the theme of the song also, in one way, relates to it. But wow, what a beautiful place. Yeah, we were there and it was good weather.
Is it Jaisalmer? Jai Vilas is...
No, Jai Vilas is 2 hours from Bombay.
Wow!
In Maharashtra. This is in Maharashtra. No.
I'd be damned. It looks like one of those, Jaipur kind of heritage monuments.
Exactly.
So you're saying and is it a hotel or is it a standalone monument?
It's a standalone monument. It's an old palace where, people use for shoots and everything. So it's not open to the public as such. You need permission to get in there. The thing about that place is there are some rooms that are locked off, that no one can enter in. These huge locks on the doors, and you look inside and there's like old telescopes and things. And then in one room there was a crib and there was a doll in there. And I thought to myself, it was spooky because I was like, whoever played with that doll is probably dead by now. That was a scary thought. It was like, wow, at some point there was a baby or a little kid playing with that thing, and now they're probably gone.
The things you have to do for music videos. But who shot it? Who's your video director?
We have Toby Warren from The Blind Club, which is a London-based video production company. They also produced my previous video called Beautiful Mind.
Correct.
Yeah, we thought we'd get them on for this one as well because they did a good job with Beautiful Mind, and we thought we'd keep the consistent look.
Yeah, and this is quintessential Nikhil D'Souza. I mean, it's a love song at the end of the day that you can make out.
Yeah.
But I'd leave you to tell everybody who's listening what Silver and Gold is all about.
I remember when I was writing this song with my friend Jeff Cohen, who I've written a lot of songs with. We were talking about how, in conversations with friends over the last few months, a lot of times what comes up is the fact that, relationships these days just seem to break really easy. At the first sign of trouble, you jump ship. And I'm not saying I'm beyond that. I'm saying that happened to me also. I got into something really quick and got out of it really quick also. But the thought is about, what is it that can keep people together for a long period of time? What is it exactly? We look back and see our parents' generation. Those guys, they stayed together for certain reasons. And it's about trying to rediscover those reasons now in this generation where we are now. The word silver and gold actually refer to the color of your hair as you get older. But they also refer to like your 25th anniversary and 50th anniversary, long-term goals. That's where it comes from.
It's a beautiful metaphor, man. Like I told you, and you agreed with me that you too have a song called Silver and Gold from the Rattle and Hum album. And that is about apartheid. That's about racism. And it was a song written by a black man living in South Africa who was oppressed at the time. And here is yours, which is a beautiful love song. It's amazing. So now when people type Silver and Gold on YouTube or on streaming sites, they're going to get two lovely songs, and one of them is crafted by an Indian, so really proud of that. How long did it take you normally to bang out a song? For example, how long did Silver and Gold sit in your head? How long did it fester from inception to actually putting the song out and mastering? Tell me about that, the process.
Well, the process of writing this song, I remember I was staying at a little hotel in Finsbury Park in London, a really small room, sitting on the bed and just experimenting with alternative tunings on my guitar. I started playing this chord progression, and this melody just came to me, and then the moment it hits the pre-chorus, the words that just fell into that melody line most naturally were when we grow old. And I realized that there was something there. There's a touch of like melancholy and something to it. And so I wrote a part of like the verse and the pre-chorus, and then I waited till I met my friend Jeff. As I presented that to him, he said, that's one of the best things I've heard you play in a while. So we sat down and fleshed out the song and wrote pretty much everything till the end of the pre-chorus, and then presented it to I played it live actually in London. We didn't have the big chorus of the song at that point. We just had the pre-chorus, and the rest of it was instrumental. So this guy Jonathan Quamby, who eventually became my producer in London, he was at the show, and he heard the song and he thought something was missing. So when we were in session with him, he said, let's write something over the instrumental section, and the chorus came out literally in like 5 minutes, because the theme of the song is about staying together over a long time, which we hammer in on the chorus. We wrote that and it was done.
And it's a big chorus, it goes on to be a really big, nice, meaty chorus. And I love the way he's arranged it, and all the things happening. It starts off nice and mellow, and then it just becomes so big. That's beautiful. In that aspect, Beautiful Mind, a little bit about that. That was the previous one, which is the previous single as well as the previous video. More or less the same collaborators, like you said, right?
Well, Jeff Cohen was the common one, but there was another collaborator on that, a guy called Jamie Hartman, who also is known by his artist name as Ben's brother. I don't know if you've heard some of his songs, but he was popular in the UK around 2007 or something, and a lot of people thought he would blow up. It didn't happen. Still some really great songs, but he went on to become a full-time songwriter and has written for Rag and Bone Man. He's written Human. He also writes with a whole bunch of other people right now, Kygo, Stargazing, he's written that. But at that point, in 2013, when we first sat down to write, he was quite amused, actually quite interested in the fact that I sing for Bollywood as well. And he said, let's, we should use some of that. It would be, quite nice for the Western audience as well. So we started to write Beautiful Mind. Again, I had like the initial melodies and everything. So we started from there, and it evolved into what it is.
Let's come to some songs that I've heard. Still in Love.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. For people who haven't heard it also, take us through the journey of that song.
So Still in Love is a song, one of the very first songs that I'd written, and I completed it with Jeff because I actually had written, say, the first verse and the chorus, and most of the second verse actually. But then I stopped at a point because after a while I couldn't go ahead with it. I just reached a wall. That song I started writing at a point where I had just met this girl again after a period of 2 years, and 2 years before I'd completely fallen for her. And I asked her out, and the day we were supposed to meet, and she was all fine with meeting up. The day we were supposed to meet, I try to call her, she doesn't answer. And then she calls me back a few hours later saying, listen, I'm a little uncomfortable with meeting you. And basically the world slipped from under my feet. I didn't know what was happening.
Damn.
Yeah, and then I moved on, of course. I got into another relationship later, and that ended. And then another year later was when I saw her again at this one gig, and the gig ended and she was gone, and all I could think about was finding out where she was. Stalker. I landed up at the same party where she was, and the next day I actually messaged her saying, listen, let's meet up, and it was while waiting for her to message back, because that wait was so like, is she gonna say yes? What is she gonna say? That I started writing these lyrics. Woman, I've been waiting for you, chasing tomorrow while I wonder if I'm throwing life away. That alludes to that. And then of course she didn't message back, and I find out years later when we met over a drink as friends this time, that there was of course someone else there who she was kind of on and off with, but it was the reason why she couldn't really come out with me, because she wanted to. But that's what had happened.
Well, as long as it helps the music.
I know we all need our muses. Cheers to our muses.
Yeah, totally. And, Bollywood does come calling only when it needs you, which is perfect by you, because you want to do songs which are part of your sensibility, right? Yeah. And so what's happening on that particular front? I've got to say that the song from Crook, which is Preetham's song with you, is still on my playlist.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love it. Can't get enough of that song. If there are two versions of it, I much prefer your version. I have to say.
Thank you.
Nothing against Mohit and the rest of the boys. So what else is happening in terms of that?
Well, really not much. I mean, I think Bollywood has moved on to the next wave of singers, whoever they are,
Which is actually Arijit and Arijit.
Yeah, Arijit. It's pretty much, that's what it is.
Yeah,
and guys who kind of sound like
Arijit, which is fine. So, hats off to him. Yeah.
Yeah. No. But what started happening is, I think, like since 2014 onwards, when I started spending a lot of time in the US and UK, those calls to come to the studio started diminishing, because this is what happens. Is like they call you and they say, can you come to the studio in 45 minutes? That's what it is. So if they can't get through to you, and then they learn that you're not really in India much, out of sight is kind of out of mind. So I noticed that since then work started diminishing, and there were few songs in the middle. I think you've heard a few of those, but that was it. And now I think most of them know that I'm spending most of my time in the UK and pursuing the my original music and releasing it out there. So I don't really get that many calls anymore.
How's the gig scene, man? Are you gigging enough? I know that is also special to you as an artist. You like to just take your guitar out and do a gig.
Yeah.
Is there enough of that happening? Tell me about that.
Well, there's a lot of that happening in the UK right now. So I've been on like a tour recently through Scotland and Manchester and London and everything.
Play intimate venues? Yeah.
No, some of them are quite big venues. In
Yeah?
fact. Like they're
Wow.
1,000 capacity. Some of them. So I was touring with Lissy, this American artist, doing a support act for her, and I was just playing with with one guitar. I was like a solo artist. But those audiences there, they really listen to you. Like it's 1,000 strong audience, and every note is being heard and every word is being heard. That's amazing. It's amazing for me. And now I go back in May now in a week, and I have the Live at Leeds Festival, the Great Escape Festival, the BBC Biggest Weekend playing that, and a headline show in London on the 21st.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And who else is at the big weekend this time around?
Jamie Cullum is there, Noel Gallagher, Liam Gallagher, Jordan Recke, this new guy who's like really good, I think also. Hannah Grace, who's someone else, a contemporary on the London scene. So yeah, some really good people.
So looks like you're having a great time, just hanging with musicians, hanging with like-minded people and creating. And you've pretty much, are you living out of a suitcase or have you set down roots in the UK?
I haven't set down roots yet because it's really expensive there. So I'm actually currently staying with a friend of mine who happened to play tablas on Beautiful Mind. So he's an old college buddy of mine, and he has a wife and 2 kids, and it's kind of a real contrast because staying in a household where the baby's waking up every few hours, and then going to like rack studios where Led Zeppelin and these guys recorded, and it's weird. But that's London for you.
The focus obviously is going to be to try and keep putting out material at periodic points of time and also supporting it with gigs, which is what the musician's way of life is. So future plans, other than these festivals you're playing, in terms of music, post Silver and Gold, is there already the next? Yeah, there is?
Yeah, there's very much a plan. Another helm of it is the A&R from Atlantic. So the guy who A&R'd James Blunt and Birdie and all of them is now my A&R. So the plan is to basically release maybe 2 or 3 more singles until the album comes out in August. So and everything leading up to that, basically we need to literally build a following in the UK from scratch. Nobody knows who I am. I haven't had like the years that I've spent, say, here in India to build a following. I don't have it there. So what's happening is I've been lucky that the 2 singles we've released so far have actually gone on to BBC Radio 2's playlists, and they've been on rotation. Silver and Gold is currently on the BBC Radio 2 playlist and is being played by Radio 6 Music also out there right now. So people are following the music from there. They're getting onto the social media sites from there, and it helps opening for people like Lissy and the 1,000 people who are coming to see her play, and now seeing me play also, and are also following me. So that's how you do it. You have to build it from scratch.
Musicians who you've really liked, in the recent scene, not ones you so much grew up on, but in the recent scene, who have you liked?
Like I mentioned, this guy Jordan Recke, he's really good. He's a Kiwi musician, but now he's based in London. Some really good songs out of him. Plus, this really young guy called Isaac Gracie, who I've heard very recently, has just released an album. His EP was like, it was amazing. It was just him and a guitar, and the guitar and the voice were, routed through like overdriven amplifiers. And so you can imagine the kind of sound, and then harmonies in the back. And some great songs, very poetic lyrics for a young guy. Yeah, so he's another find, I think. And I'll let you know as and when I find new people.
Also, is it just you with an acoustic guitar, or at these larger venues, do you have a supporting band and a good enough band? Have you made some mates in the UK who are sessions musicians or just musicians who are traveling with you?
Like for the last tour I just did it solo because I realized that having like a second guitarist, for example, it takes the focus off and kind of takes away from the intimacy of the songs.
Yep.
So you might as well just play it with one guitar. And I figured that what I do now is I change the tuning of the guitar, so it's a lot more, it's an open tuned instrument, and it's bigger, way bigger than like a standard tuned guitar. So even as a solo artist, you can pull off a bigger sound, which works. So I figured you either do it that way or you do it with a full band. There's nothing in between.
Nothing in between. Fair enough. Okay, guys, all you have to do is get on to YouTube, get onto the World Wide Web, get on to Google and do Silver and Gold, and you will hear Nikhil D'Souza. So go stream it, watch the video. Lovely. Come on, get your instrument of heaven out.
Woman, I've been waiting for you, chasing tomorrow while I wonder if I'm throwing life away. The world's a blur, I'm standing still. I've been here before I can begin to remember the words I mean to say. They say time can heal it all, but 2 years have passed since we came undone. So why does it feel like yesterday? I'm still in love with you. Still in love with you. All I see are frozen clocks, their rusted hands hold back my heart. Here we are in yesterday tonight, on a razor's edge, your decision waits. I'm stranded on the wings of fate. They're begging me to just give up this fight. They say time can heal it all, so how does the scent of you linger on? Why does it feel like nothing's changed? I'm still in love with you. With you. Faces could all call my name. The only voice I hear, one that remains, is yours, and I can't explain it. I'm still in love with you. Still with you. Stars a million miles apart, inseparable like brothers, brothers, brothers. So how do you steal the heart of a single perfect flower from another? I fell into your beautiful mind, can't seem to cut the ties that blind lovers. Lovers, if only you could hear me, if only eyes could speak, and only you would see. Tell me you can't hear me in my silent scream, if only you'd believe, I'd stop walking. You crash into me, and the look on your face as you turn it away tells me what you're thinking. I'll still say nothing. And when you're running into his arms, I'm thrown into the storm, and there's no shelter, no shelter. If only you could hear me, if only eyes could speak, only you would see. Tell me you can't hear me in my silent scream, if If only you'd believe, I'd stop walking, I'd stop walking. If only you'd believe. I fell into your beautiful mind, can't seem to cut the ties that blind lovers. Okay. Young and fearless, time to be reckless. I'll be reckless with you. When we grow old, we'll find our way. We'll find our way to stay together. Silver and gold, silver and gold, silver and gold. Somewhere hearts are bleeding, they stop believing. No, that won't happen to us. When we grow old, we'll find our way. We'll find our way to stay together. Silver and gold, silver and gold. We'll see love is imperfection. As the vision slowly fades, when we grow old, we'll find a way. We'll find a way to stay together. Remain forever. Silver and gold, silver and gold, silver and gold.